is this able to be improved, or is it not worth? I quote in Madness of Crowd somebody, the wonderful American writer Wendell Berry, who at one point in an essay from the 80s or so said something. He said, we all have to spend ourselves on something, and that's an interesting tipping point in any society. Is I will spend my time, I will spend myself on the attempt to turn around the city I am in and from, and that I love and that has great potential. And then the moment when it's perfectly clear that this is not a useful way to spend the limited energies we all do have in our life, and that time to go.
Well,
that's a calibration.
It is unavoidable. And, I must say, having seen this in microcosm at Evergreen and now seeing it in Portland,
yes,
it's the same damn calculation, which was, Heather and I tried everything we could think of. And we were two of the most popular professors Evergreen had. I think Heather was actually number one, right? And you would have thought that we could have brought reason to that system and prevented it from going over the edge. There came a point at which it became utterly clear that spend everything we had on the puzzle wouldn't be nearly enough to prevent the place from imploding, and that the only thing to do was to get out.
Yeah.
Right? That became clear. Yeah. That same, it's almost the identical calculation is now unfolding in Portland. And we didn't, sometimes our friends give us a hard time. Why did you move to Portland? And the answer was, actually, the quality of life here was spectacular and much more affordable than it was in many places. So, we actually looked at 10 different cities that we might have moved to, and we moved here because it was the best. But watching what it's doing now, I have to tell you, my upbringing, I was born in 1969, which felt like, as I was growing up, it felt like it was a long time after the Holocaust and World War II. I now, as an adult, realize it was much closer to those events than I had realized. And I cannot escape the question. We always, when I was growing up, talked about people who had been living in Eastern Europe, Jews who didn't react fast enough and told themselves that it would be okay and, that it would pass, and then it didn't. And, I don't know how to convey to people who are busy attacking the foundations of logic, of mathematics, science, the Enlightenment, the idea of equality amongst the races. I don't know how to say to these people, you are scaring the shit out of those of us who know anything about history, because you sound an awful lot like things that we have seen, and this doesn't end well.
No,
right?
Absolutely.
But I also, the question I asked you earlier, where are the examples where people who